Today, we're tearing apart a really fascinating research paper on whiteout survival that honestly changes everything you think you know about building power. We're going to uncover the hidden strategies that separate the truly dominant players from, well, everyone else. Okay, let's just dive right in. So let's just kick things off with a huge question, one this research pretty much forces us to ask. Is that giant power number you see at the top of your screen a complete lie? Well, according to the data, the answer is a resounding mostly yes. And we're about to find out exactly why.
You see, the whole game really pivots on this one critical distinction. On the one hand, you've got display power. That's the big, flashy number everyone sees. It absolutely loves when you train tons of low-tier troops or build stuff that doesn't even help in a fight. But on the other hand, you have march power. And that's the only thing that actually matters when push comes to shove. It only cares about high-tier troops and very specific combat research. And the crazy part? The stuff that makes one number go up often does nothing for the other or can even hurt it.
And this right here perfectly illustrates the trap so many players fall into. The paper gives us this really stark warning. Chasing that display score is, plain and simple, a path to weakness. You could train a massive army of T1 troops, look incredibly powerful on paper, and then get absolutely steamrolled by a smaller, smarter march. It's all about quality, not just the quantity that inflates your profile number. So let's peel back the layers of this power score lie. Let's really see what the game is actually rewarding. Okay, now this is where the research gets really juicy. This chart here breaks down all 47 different things that give you power, and it shows you how much they actually matter. And as you can plainly see, the top three, troop tier, troop number, and hero skills, they just blow everything else out of the water. This right here is the absolute core of real power in this game. And if there is one single thing you burn into your brain from all this, let it be this: the tier dominance theorem. The paper literally proves with the math that a higher troop tier is so incredibly powerful, it can overcome a huge disadvantage in buffs. A T10 army with just okay stats will beat a completely maxed out T8 army every single time. So the takeaway is, tiering up isn't just a good idea, it's everything. Okay, so we know what's a waste of time. Let's actually break down what real, effective combat power is truly made of. The research actually pinpoints a specific hero lineup they call the God March, at least for players in seasons 1 through 4. It's this powerful trio: Geronimo, Reyna, and Lyn. You've got Geronimo's buffs, Reyna's insane bonus attacks, and Lyn's defensive debuffs, all working together. They create this devastating synergy that's just way, way more effective than any of them could ever be on their own. All right, next up, your army mix. And listen, this is not a one-size-fits-all deal. The research actually crunched the numbers to give us the perfect ratios for different situations. For your general player versus player fights, you want a 48-4-48 split. That's infantry, lancers, and marksmen. But for a pure damage event like a bear hunt where you don't have to worry about getting hit back, you flip the script completely to a 5-5-90 split, almost all marksmen, just to maximize that raw damage output. And get this, the paper even lays out a clear step-by-step roadmap for you. The key is you don't do it all at once. Phase 1 is all about the foundation. Get your troop tiers high and get your chief gear sorted out. Phase 2 is where you specialize, diving into hero-specific gear and the more advanced research. And only then, in Phase 3, do you start focusing on the late-game stuff like pets and decorations to really blow up your march size. Okay, pay attention, because this is probably one of the biggest and most costly mistakes the paper warns about. If you mix your chief gear tiers, like you have a few gold pieces and a few red pieces, you get no set bonus at all. And this results in a staggering potential power loss of 68.75%. It's just gone. Always, always complete a full 6-piece set before you even think about moving to the next color. It's a simple error that can absolutely cripple your march. All right, so let's put all these pieces together and talk about how to actually build this so-called God March, the ultimate fighting force that this research lays out for us. So, what's the secret sauce? What makes the strongest players just exponentially more powerful than everyone else? It comes down to a math principle the paper calls leveraged compounding. See, it's not just adding stats on top of each other. As you can see from the formula, your special bonuses, like from hero gear or widgets, they get a double dip. They add to your base stats, sure, but they also multiply them. That's what creates that crazy explosive growth. And this graph right here, this shows you exactly what I'm talking about. It brings the whole concept to life. Just look at how those lines curve up and just rocket away from each other. That's it.
That's the power of compounding in action. It's visual proof of why stacking the right stats creates such an insane power curve at the top end. So, okay, knowing this multiplier secret is one thing, but how do you strategically apply it? That's the real question, right? Let's get into that. With all that in mind, where should you spend your precious resources? The paper proposes this perfect allocation model. And look at this, a whopping 45% of your total investment should be laser-focused on just your 3 main heroes and their gear. That's it. Another 30% goes to your troops, getting the tiers and the research done. Everything else is secondary. This is a strategy of extreme concentration.
So just as important is knowing what not to do. This list is basically a summary of all the traps the research uncovered. Spreading your resources across multiple marches, leveling heroes past 60 before their gear is ready, chasing that fake display power, and of course mixing that chief gear. These are the efficiency killers that will absolutely hold you back. And really, after all the math and all the charts, it all boils down to this one single, powerful mantra from the paper's conclusion. It's the entire philosophy in one sentence. To get maximum power, you have to focus all of your energy on creating one single, unstoppable march. And that's the final, huge lesson here. Concentrate. Don't diversify. It's a strategic principle that this research proves with data is the absolute key to dominance in this game. So the final question it leaves you with is, are you playing for a flashy score or are you actually playing to win?